What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Sunday night's late night agenda, the last night of agenda before the kids go back to school after Christmas. I'm your host, Craig. Welcome to the channel. How the hell are we tonight? Obviously, this is the last stream before the Reds FA Cup tie against Wolves tomorrow. We're going to have a chat about what type of 11 you're expecting the Reds to put out. We're going to have a talk about transfers. We're going to talk about the other FA Cup games. We're going to have a look ahead, of course, at the game against Brighton. Lots and lots and lots of stuff on tonight's stream. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've had a good day. I can see the chat is full already, which I always love to see. Pop Off, Kirby Power, Tony Montana, Dirty Girl, Scotty99, Origi, everybody else that's in the chat, Skeleton Stig. How are we? I hope you've all had a wonderful Sunday. I had a really relaxing day today, which I love. I love it. Last day before the kids go back to school, the Christmas tree's down, everything sorted, all the remnants of Christmas gone. Now it's into January. Now it's back to the Reds and the serious business of trying to get to the FA Cup final and trying to win the Premier League, as well as the Europa or the Champions League. Jeremy, the Europa League. Jesus, gone back years there with the Europa League. How are we, guys? I have a little bit to go through tonight, but I want to read your comments first because this is your show. As you can see, we've had a really, really good night. We've gone over the 7,000 mark, which is fantastic. 7,030 subscribers now. So happy for that one. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the button now and drop a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. Let's get straight into it. How have we got? What's going on? Says Floating Fox. I'm on time. I know, you're shocked. It's not usual that I'm on here on time, but again, that's 2 nights in a row. I mean, one more and I'm on a hat trick. Hey Craig, good to see you reach 7,000 subscribers. Thank you, mate. It's as we say, it's only because of you guys that we're here, so thank you for that. I think the lineup will be Mignolet, Moreno, Masterson, Hoover, Camacho, Keita, Jones, Milner, Lallana, Sturridge and Shaqiri. Right, on that one actually, we might as well start about this. Last night a lot of you were talking about Keane and Hoover being in your starting 11 for the game. Unfortunately, guys, that ain't going to happen. Jurgen Klopp has come out and he said that he thinks as good as Keane Hoover is and as good as his progression's been, it could be a little bit too much for him having him play this game this early in his Liverpool career. So it looks as if he will make the trip up with the Reds, but he'll just be part of the matchday party, I suppose is the right word. I'm not even sure if he'll be in the squad or not, but he will be travelling up with the guys to Wolves. That much we know. I just don't think he's going to play. So those of you that thought he was going to be in the starting 11 or even on the bench, I think you could be a little bit disappointed reading Klopp's comments. But you know, you can never rule anything out. But let's just wait and see. I'd be amazed though, guys, if he starts this game tomorrow. Absolutely amazed. Hey Craig, good to see you reach 7,000. Thank you very much. I don't think the FA Cup is important, said Ben. After the City game, we need to throw all of our confidence to the Premier League. So I play the kids and get knocked out. Whew, I don't know, Ben. Don't think there's going to be too many people that would agree with you. I think a lot of us are hoping for a halfway house. I think a lot of us are hoping that we make a couple of changes, no injuries, and we get through the game. But look, Wolves away is tricky at the best of times. In the league, we've seen how hard it was to go there and get the win. Thankfully, we did it. We know we're capable of doing it in the FA Cup as well, but it's probably a competition that Wolves are going to want to come and have a go at as well. So let's wait and see what 11 Klopp goes with tomorrow. October is in. How are you, October? October with our new Roy Hodgson tattoo, which I'm not sure if some of you guys have seen on social media. To be fair to October, she said if Palace beat Manchester City, she'd get a Roy Hodgson tattoo, and she got the initials RH on her foot. So she is as good as her word. So thank you for that one, October. You're an absolute legend. There's no way I'd have done it. I have to be honest. There's no fucking way I'd have put the initials RH on my body after that emu. But you're a lady of your word, and I respect the fuck out of that. So well done. DCB is in the house from Glasgow. How are you, sir? Jack Coleman is in as well. I've watched the Turkish kid and he plays a bit like Big Shaqiri and Messi, said Kirby Power. I've spoken to quite a few people that have watched this guy play in Turkey. A couple of Turkish people and a couple of people who just like the Turkish league, and they speak very, very highly of him. I did a transfer video earlier on. I'm sure maybe some of you guys have seen it, maybe some of you haven't, but the Echo really don't think that we're going to drop Adam Lallana and bring this kid in to replace him in January. The Echo have been wrong before. The Echo have been wrong on many occasions before. I actually didn't like the tone at which the Echo went about this article or this piece on it. They were very dismissive of it, very kind of almost sanctimonious in the way that they worded it towards the young kid, and that there's no way Klopp's going to drop Adam Lallana for this unheard of young guy from Turkey. But we seem to have watched them. There seems to be a number of people linking us with a £27 million move for him. I have no idea if it'll happen or not. As I always say, I have no information on transfers. Let's just wait and see what happens. Let's just wait and see what happens. Actually, the Echo went as far as to say that they don't believe anybody is coming in January. They said a couple of times that Klopp has said there will be no January signings, but yet people still believe that there will be. Can you ever take anybody at the word when you're talking about managers and transfers in January? Because anything can happen. Something could be being worked on behind the scenes that we don't know about, or perhaps something could come up at the last minute that might attract Klopp, or might attract the club. So I don't know what to say. I just don't think anybody can rule anything out categorically yet, because it's too early in the window. Anything can happen. Jason Collins Mannion said, hello Craig, congrats on 7k, thank you very much. But as I always say, this 7k wouldn't have happened without you guys, and of course without Connor, because this channel wouldn't be here without Connor and all his amazing hard work behind the scenes. So as much as I appreciate all the well dones, congratulations and thank yous, you guys know Connor is as big a part of this as any of us. So from me to Connor, thank you very much, mate, for all your help. And if you're wondering who Connor is, if you're new perhaps to the channel, Connor's the very talented young man that makes all the images, the thumbnails for the shows, the overlays for the shows, the slideshows, all those little special effects and bits and pieces, all done by Connor, because I am very untalented when it comes to stuff like that. I'm lucky, I just get to come on here, turn on the computer, talk into this microphone and get to meet you amazing people, but Connor puts in all the hard yards. So on behalf of me, and I suppose that all of you guys as well, massive thank you to Connor for his help. What else have we got? Sligo for Sam, said Jack Coleman. Very, very optimistic there, pal. It's been a while since Sam Maguire's been in Sligo. If Origi leaves this January, I'll be very surprised if we don't have another striker lined up, said Junior. The FA Cup draws after the game tomorrow, said Niall. Good evening, Jimmy W. How are you, sir? Edwards probably has 35 million lined up for Lallana, said Stig. So you know what, mate, it wouldn't surprise me. The man is an absolute genius. And on that, on transfers and transfer fees and net spends and all that stuff, I read an interesting thread earlier on Twitter. Now, I can't say 100% that all these facts and figures are correct, but I think the general vibe of the thread was that after the Dominic Solanke sale to Bournemouth for 19 million, rising up to possibly 23, 24 million, something like that, that Liverpool since 2014 actually have a net spend of plus £1 million. Plus £1 million since 2014. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I have to say, a lot of the time when people are talking about net spends, we're very simplistic. We don't take into account the fees, the agent's fees, the VAT, the taxes, all the stuff that goes along with a transfer. But just roughly working off this, even if we're somewhere in and around that, the fact that Liverpool are almost at break-even point and have done the business that they have and brought in the players that they have and gotten us to the position that they have. Michael Edwards, Jurgen Klopp, FSG, they deserve massive pats on the back, because that is unbelievable. Some clubs are having to spend serious amounts of money to try and get there. Other clubs like Spurs have been very clever as well about the way they've gone about it. Liverpool and Spurs have made sure that they've renewed the contract to their big players to keep them at the club. All of this very positive stuff. But then you have clubs, and I don't mean to take a cheap shot at United here, because I'm not really one for doing that a lot of the time, but they've had a bit of a scattergun approach to transfers. They've just bought players without really looking towards the future or building a squad that makes sense. Sometimes you look like the Alexis Sanchez deal. That just seemed to me like a deal to stop him going to Manchester City. Now, we don't know if that's true or that's false, but a lot of journalists as well seem to believe that United's approach to transfers has been a little bit hectic over the past couple of seasons. And I think even the most honest United fan will probably admit that that has some ring of truth to it. But us, Liverpool, under Jurgen Klopp and since Michael Edwards has come in, nothing but positive things to say. I mean, how could we not? We're top of the league. We've got an amazing squad. Every player that goes out is replaced by somebody better at this moment in time, which is fantastic. And that's all you ever want as a fan. Stig said, no, read that one already. Emre Can is a decent player, but he left at the wrong time, said Tony Montana. Yeah, look, I've thought about that Emre Can transfer a lot over the past few months, Tony. I've been following him up at Juventus as well. A little bit hit and miss from at the moment. If Roberto Bestwick was in, he'd probably be able to give us a bit more information on this, as him being a massive Juventus fan. But maybe it was just the lifestyle. Maybe he wasn't a fan of the league too much. Maybe he just fancied moving to Italy. It could be something that simple. Craig, would you rather be called Pitbull or Craighead? Pitbull, Fucking hell yeah, I told you, I'm going around my gaff now and everybody in the house has to call me Mr. Worldwide. That's the end of it now. There's no more Craig or KJ or any of this shit. It's Mr. Worldwide and that's the end of it. And that's all I go to in the house anymore. I'm thinking of coming on here one day in a pair of sunglasses and a suit and a white shirt just to, pretend I'm Pitbull. Only for, I don't own a suit because I'm a fucking chab, so, there is that. Ragnar Klavan the GOAT is in. How are you, sir? Watch, what's this one? Sermanio for Newport County. He's on loan from Bristol City. I think he'd be a good buy. He's calm on the ball and doesn't mind the challenge. Look, to be fair, Tom, we're not going to be looking to Newport at this moment in time to be bringing players in, I don't think. I think that's a little bit too far down the leagues at this moment in time. Origi's pretty good. I'd sell him a loan to buy. I've a couple of bits on Origi as well. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Good evening. Origi is like Ryan Babel, said Alex Gomez. There you go. The audio is very low, Craig. No problem. I can sort that out. There you go. And let me just check it on another end as well. Okay, 1 second. There you go. That should be okay. That should be back to normal now. What else we got? Well, Craig, it used to be like that. Throw money away in transfers and sell players for next to nothing, said Gary. Our sales used to be fucking shocking, Gary. Absolutely useless. How many times did we have to loan players out? Maybe this is a bit better. How many times have we had to loan players out before and loan to buy deals? And clubs just didn't buy them in the end and we were paying fucking half a player's wages for the entirety of their careers here when they just weren't going to fit in. It happened time and time and time again. I used to be a Manchester United fan for 14 years. I used to be a Manchester United fan. And I agree the last few years I've supported them before, but nah, sorry mate, that doesn't wash. That just doesn't wash. You can't be a Manchester United fan for 14 years and say you support Liverpool now. I'm sorry, you have to leave. There's no fucking way that's washing on this, no way. As nice as I try to be at times and I welcome new fans and stuff because anybody can pick up football at any time, but you do not support Manchester United for 14 years and then all of a sudden become a Liverpool fan. I'm sorry, that's just nonsense. Crosby Red said, I'd like Origi to stay and start tomorrow before we decide whether to sell him. I think you will. I have a feeling we're going to see Sturridge and Origi start tomorrow, and I'll go through a starting 11 a little bit later on. I know I did one yesterday, but I've had a little bit of a rethink since then. October said, Emre Can's biggest dream was to move to Juventus since he was a child apparently. He told his youth coach he was going to sign for Juve and buy him a car as a thank you. There you go. I suppose every player does have one of those clubs, doesn't he? A club where they dreamt of going and dreamt of playing, so let's wait and see. Is the audio okay for everybody, by the way? I didn't think it was low. It shouldn't have been low because it was on the same setting it's always been on, but again, I want to make sure everybody's comfortable and everybody can hear me properly. What else we got? Hotel, motel, holiday inn, Siraj. That's always going through my head when somebody mentions Pitbull. Liverpool FC fan 9 is pretty much spot on there. One of his comments, Fulham are planning a £15 million bid for Divock Origi. This has been in a lot of papers today, on a lot of online publications as well, and of course a lot of ITKs and Twitter have been running with it. Let's wait and see what happens. I think 15 million for Divock Origi is pretty decent business from our point of view. You could say yes, we got more for Dominic Solanke, but you have to remember Dominic Solanke has the whole English thing about him, so you've got that extra money, the homegrown player. It's a bit easier for clubs to fit them in on their squad. And Divock Origi, look, I think 15 million is a fair price for everybody. If he was got to Fulham for 15 million, I think it would be good business all around. Why not give another winner of the FA Cup final Champions League place instead of the 4th place team in the league? They've thought about doing things like that before, Christopher, I think. It is tough because the FA Cup, I believe, is the oldest club competition in the world, I think, if memory serves me correct. But even at that, it was always a very, very glamorous competition in England, and it's admired around the world. Why in the last few years has it perhaps gone the way it has? Is it because of the Champions League money and the top 4 places, attracting players to the club? Because let's be honest, the FA Cup, it's only 3, 4, 5, 6 games depending on how far you go. Champions League, you're guaranteed, the eyes of the world are on you. You're guaranteed to be playing the biggest clubs. You're guaranteed to be mixing it with the best footballers in the world. But a lot of people, especially in the UK, maybe even in Ireland growing up, I know when I was a kid, the FA Cup was a massive fucking thing. Massive thing. I think once you get to the semis, the quarters, the semis, the finals, the magic of the FA Cup does start to ring through, and we all appreciate a cup shock and that as well along the way, but I do understand where Christopher's coming from. It's getting to the point where the money involved in the Champions League does negate winning a cup. A cup is lovely, it looks great in the cabinet and all, but winning an FA Cup, going into the Europa League, or finishing fourth and going into the Champions League, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Most people will say, "Oh, I want a trophy," but at the end of the day, we want to see Liverpool playing Real Madrid's, Barcelona's, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund's, Roma's, all these big European clubs, and you're not really going to get that by winning the FA Cup. Unless, of course, you do both, which is fucking sound. I mean, that would be grand. For me, I don't know where I stand on tomorrow's game. I will understand either way. I'll understand if Jurgen Klopp goes with a really strong 11 and we go out there balls out to try and win it, or if he makes a few tweaks and maybe tries to start introducing people in the last 15-20 minutes to get it over the line. There are replays in this round, so a draw tomorrow doesn't necessarily go to extra time, and look, we don't really want a replay, but at the end of the day, a replay back at Anfield, you'd have to fancy us against anybody. So let's just wait and see what happens tomorrow. I'd love to know everybody's feelings on this one, whether you want a strong 11, a mixed 11, the kids, if you give a shit about the FA Cup, has it lost some of its sparkle? This is your show, guys, so please put it in the chat and let me know. Reading had 60% possession against United, said Origi, that is fucking nuts, isn't it? But at the end of the day, United scored 2 goals, won the game, and that's all that's important, really, isn't it? Can't support United for 14 years and then support Liverpool. It is just a no-no. I mean, it's definitely not something you fucking admit either, by the way, which, I don't know. I don't mean to be harsher on people, but that's just something I couldn't get my head around. Didn't they turn down 20 million for Origi last summer? They wanted nearer 30. I think we wanted 20 and we were getting offered 15, Neil, if memory serves me correct. But look, I could be completely wrong. They were holding out for 20, I think. Someone with an incredibly long username. Hey everybody, love it. I love stupid little things like that, mate. Love the name. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us. I hope, of course, you've hit the subscribe button. If anybody's watching that hasn't, please do. The Premier League would have to agree that they never will. It's the FA Cup. Premier League clubs have no interest in giving up their 4th place. That is true, mate. That's a very easy and good point by Brian. They're ran by 2 different people. Premier League run the Premier League, but the FA Cup is indeed run by the English FA and not the Premier League. So it's the Football Association Cup. So yeah, spot on, Brian, and a really good point. Sometimes we overlook things like this. The amount of times I forget that there are 2 different people at play here, the FA and the Premier League. Sometimes in my stupid little head, I just assume that, they're assimilated into one thing. Wouldn't love Newport to get through. Would love Newport to get through if... What's the next round, I think you meant to say. Sorry, I couldn't read what you were saying. Would you take Hudson-Odoi? He looks like he might believe in Chelsea. No, we're not signing him. There's no... Look at it this way. 1, Chelsea ain't going to sell to us. 2, I think Bayern Munich are at a £30 million offer or something like that now for Hudson-Odoi, and they seem like they're really adamant to go and get this guy. Plus the fact that we've absolutely not been linked with him once, so I would say no because we've no link to him. But he seems like a very talented young man. I mean, Bayern Munich aren't going to go after him and throw that type of money on him if they don't rate him very highly. Imagine when Wigan won the FA Cup, it was relegated, they would have been playing the Champions League. So no, I don't think that idea works, said Tony Montana. FA Cup, go with anyone that is not in the first 11. Everybody else needs some game time anyway. I'd like to go strong tomorrow, said Crosby Red. Only rest 2 or 3 players. Beat Wolves. Our next fixture would be Oldham, Doncaster, Tranmere or Brentford, some other lower league team. Hopefully, but no near fucking luck this year. Our next game is probably going to be United away. Watch, something mad like that. We won the Champions League with Jimmy Traore in defence. Think about that. I've never stopped thinking about that, Alex. Never. To this day, the fact that him and Harry Kewell have a Champions League winners medal baffles me. Played the kids and Naby and Fabinho, said Maj Abdu. Is it Gazelle or Gazella, mate? Excuse me if I mispronounce your name. Do you rate Pogba? It's a tough question because I know the guy has the ability. Under the right manager, in the right system, in the right frame of mind, yes, Paul Pogba can be an absolutely excellent footballer, but it's just getting that out of him. Yeah, he was excellent under Allegri at Juventus. He seems to be coming out of the shell and playing a lot better under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but for whatever reason with Jose Mourinho they didn't click. So yeah, I suppose yes, I would rate the player. It's got to be a mixed 11 and have Salah, Mane on the bench just in case. Like Gary, I want Liverpool to win tomorrow. Don't want 2 defeats in a row. I feel like a mixed 11, thinking 5 or 6 first teamers and the rest made up of reserve players. Has anybody given much thought to the Wolves 11 for this game, or what Nuno might go for his team? Bestiality is wrong on so many levels. It absolutely is, Brent Strunkbridge, mate. Very wrong on so many levels. Don't really care about the FA Cup, but we should still go all out, said Mark Forrest. Don't really care about it, but we should still go all out to win it. It's a bit of a mixed statement, I think, Mark. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that one and see if I've read this one completely wrong, but yeah, it seems a bit of a mixed statement. Craig, I'm going to be honest, if we do win any silverware this season, Klopp should go. We have that team. If we don't, I think if we don't win any silverware this season, Klopp should go. Rebecca, Klopp could win nothing this year and I still want him here. I've no intention of wanting Jurgen Klopp to leave this football club, and here's the reason why. When I look at Liverpool every season, I ask myself, are they better than the season before? Has there been progress? Do we have better players? Are we going in the right direction? And yes, winning trophies is of course important. There's also only 4 trophies that you can play for every year if you're in the Champions League or the Europa League. And it's not easy to win a trophy, but can we say we've progressed? Absolutely. We were in a Champions League final, a Europa League final. This year we were 25 points behind Manchester City last season. This year we're 4 ahead of them. We're really progressing and going in the right direction. So sacking Jurgen Klopp, who the fuck are you going to bring in? With all due respect, you sack Jurgen Klopp tomorrow, who are you going to bring in that's going to do a better job than him right now? Because I can't think of anybody, nor do I want anybody. So no, I absolutely would not even contemplate firing Jurgen Klopp if we didn't win a trophy this year. Not a hope. But that's just my opinion. And of course, Rebecca, you're entitled to yours. I'd like to know how many players Liverpool will sign in the summer. Jeez, I don't know, Gary. That's a tough one. 2, 3. The way you probably look at it is bring in 1 or 2 first teamers every summer to freshen up, and maybe a young kid or somebody like that, and depending on who leaves as well. The FA Cup is more important to the top 4. That's just that the top 6 regarded the top 4 higher. As a Liverpool fan, you have to take the top 4. So let me read that again. The FA Cup is more important to the top 4. It's just that the top 6 regard the top 4 higher. Yes, I get where you're coming from. What do you mean knowing our luck, Craig? We've had some amazing luck this season. Yeah, but look at our draws, Jimmy. We haven't exactly had handy draws in the Cups, mate, have we? In the Champions League, we got a very difficult group. PSG, Napoli, ourselves. In the League Cup, we didn't have the easiest tie. In the FA Cup, we got handed Wolves away. So we haven't exactly had an easy group through the club or the cup competition so far. Robbie, yes, on that one, you've mentioned it there. Grabara has indeed been loaned out. I meant to say that one earlier on, sorry. I think it might have just happened after I made the transfer video. I've got some details of it here now, so bear with me. Liverpool goalkeeper Camille Grabara has joined AGF Aarhus on loan for the rest of the season. So there you go. Another young keeper gone out to get minutes, which is always good to see. Because let's be honest, Grabara probably wasn't going to get much first team action here at Liverpool. And I have a real bee in my bonnet when it comes to the first team goalkeepers, because what's the point? What is the fucking point of bringing these kids through Grabara, Queeveen Kelleher, Danny Ward, and just not playing them or not giving them a chance? They're either good enough or they're not. I'm really frustrated when it comes to goalkeeper. So another goalkeeper gone out on loan. As we know, he's gone to Aarhus in Holland. Let's see how he gets on. Is it Holland? Or is it Denmark? Is Aarhus Denmark actually? I think it might be Denmark, is it? I think it's Denmark. Anyway, he's gone out on loan. Let's wait and see how that one goes on. But I don't know. I'm always wary of goalkeepers going out on loan, because when's the last time we've had one that have come to the ranks and actually staked a claim? I can't think of one. I actually cannot think of one in my whole time supporting Liverpool of a goalkeeper that came through the system and played in the first team as a regular. I can't remember one. Congrats on 7,000 subs. Thank you very much, Harry. Really kind of you. Would you rather have a humble player who plays horrible or a disrespectful player who plays amazing? A disrespectful player who plays amazing. I couldn't give a fuck. For me, it's all about what he does on the pitch, mate. What he does after that or before that is none of my concern. As long as he doesn't bring the club into disrepute. If you're talking about somebody who's an arrogant asshole, then it's not my call. It's the manager's. If the manager thinks he's a disruptive influence in the dressing room, then he probably won't bring him in. And that's one thing I'm sure of with Jurgen Klopp, is that he knows what he's at in that department. It's a question I'm sure managers ask themselves, mate, time and time again, because sometimes you can get these players, if you roll the dice and take a gamble, quite cheap. So like Balotelli as an example, Roger's saying we're definitely not getting Balotelli, and then lo and behold, there he is, fucking Balotelli. Still can't get my head around that one. Wolves have played almost the same 11 all season. Think they're rotating, focus on getting into Europe through the league, said Stig. Play the youngsters, not worth the risk of injury, said Tina Murphy. Wolves also rotated last year when they were in the Championship, said Stig. Thank you for that one. I want Klopp to be our manager for the next 10 years, said O-Dog. You have to be deluded to suggest to sack Jurgen Klopp. I don't understand the thought process behind sacking him either. If we were falling back to 5th or 6th this year, we went out of Europe and we were looking shit, I still probably wouldn't get it, but at least you can put some rhyme or reason to it. Just for not winning a trophy, not yet. I think there's a few more years before we go down that route, in my opinion anyway. It's crazy if there's anyone out there that thinks he should be sacked. We're finishing 7th etc. every season before he came in, and we've been in 2 different European finals and are now in a title challenge. Exactly. Progress. Year after year after year. Stephen Clavin said, biggest worry if Klopp wants to retire early, which I believe he has hinted at before. He did say, Stephen, I remember him saying he didn't want to be in management when he was like 65 or something like that. I think something along those lines, so you could be right. Kev said, match ticket alerts. Guys, there are match tickets for the West Ham away on the Hammers website. Just joined the reduced membership club. Think it's about 10 or 12 quid, and then there are £55 tickets and £65 tickets. So again, just to reiterate what Kev has said, there are match tickets for the West Ham away game on the Hammers website. Join the reduced membership club. Think it's about 10 or 12 quid, and then there are £55 and £65 tickets. From the way that's worded, I gather he means in the West Ham end. I could be wrong, but it looks like you're signing up to be a West Ham member and buying the tickets. Again, I could be wrong, but just going by what Kevin said there, I think that's what he means. Wexford are a good hurling team, to Jack Maloney. I'm not into GAA, mate. I watch football a little bit. I'd watch Dublin a little bit, but other than that, I've got to be honest, I know nothing about it, Jack. Michael Edwards has asked for Sessegnon for Origi. That doesn't really sound like a fair fucking trade there, does it? Sessegnon for Origi. It would be great if he could be part of the deal, though. I mean, there's no secret that Ryan Sessegnon is a talented footballer. And David Davison wants to know what's the source on Edwards wanting Sessegnon, because I have to say I haven't seen much of it either. Denmark. It is Denmark. Thank you. Perfect. Can't lose the title. Only play the second team and hope the fixtures are favourable. The cup is just a bonus to club, said Tippy. Did you see the clips of Abdul? Was underwhelmed, sadly, said Maverick. Again, I still haven't had time to have a look, so I'm going off other people's opinions. I can't remember a keeper that came to the ranks either. I've been supporting Liverpool for 49 years, said Spencer. Yeah, that just goes to show. It's very tough as a goalkeeper to get into a top Premier League side. You pretty much have to drop back down to the divisions and hope for the best or go abroad. So if I had a kid now who's playing as a goalkeeper, I wouldn't send him anywhere near a Premier League club. I'd be sending him to a League One club, probably a Championship club, and absolutely a club in Germany, Holland, anywhere like that. After match day 22 last season, Liverpool were 17 points behind City. 17 points. That's a 21 point swing to this season, and people are saying that if we don't win a trophy, sack them. It's madness, Christopher, isn't it? Absolute fucking madness. 21 point turnaround is brilliant. 7 wins better off than this time last year. Well, with regards to Manchester City, the turnaround, I mean. What else have we got? Liverpool top of the league. Liverpool top of the league, said O-Dog. I'm very unsettled that Moreno is starting tomorrow. Wolves will go all out. Couldn't trust him. I don't know. Yeah, look, be entertained. There's no point in me coming on here and saying anything other than I don't really trust Alberto Moreno either. And Alberto Moreno looks like he's going to be leaving the club, whether it be in this window or in the summer. So, you'd have to say he's a professional footballer and he'll put in the effort, but I get where you're coming from. I can understand. Even when Alberto Moreno is, in a good place, I'm a little bit worried about him starting for Liverpool. That's why Sacco had to go. Ego too big, said Jan Brand. He was a disruptive influence as well, mate. He was late a couple of times for team meetings. I think he was late for the bus as well a few times, and Klopp just wasn't putting up with it. And Jurgen Klopp, all he asks is very little of players, that they show up, they try, they're respectful, and obviously he thought Sacco was otherwise and moved him on. And that's before you have the whole thing as well around the fat burners that he took, that he didn't get the go ahead from the club to take, which is fucking stupid if you think about it for a professional footballer. And I really, really like Mamadou Sakho. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would be like a new signing, said Blue Vadoom. I cannot wait for that kid to come back. I cannot fucking wait. I think a lot of us are pinning a lot of hopes on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and it's tough to be that reliant on him because he's been out for so long, and you never know when somebody's coming back from an ACL. So let's just wait and see. Shaqiri was a knob at Stoke, but under Klopp he's been a delight. Again, yeah, look, you see these players come in and they have this reputation. Shaqiri is somebody who came in with a reputation of being a bit of a pain in the arse. Daniel Sturridge was said to be a little bit of a disruptive influence from the outside. Now, I'm not saying anybody I know of the clubs have said these things, but these are the personas that these guys have had when they've come in. And Daniel Sturridge hasn't been anything but fantastic with regards around the club to younger kids in the dressing room. And Shaqiri seems to be loving life at Liverpool. So again, sometimes perceptions are completely wrong. Well, we could play Markovic tomorrow. Fuck off. Markovic, seriously, he's somebody who can most definitely just fuck off. I'm doing really well, by the way. I've ignored all the troll comments so far. I'm almost giving myself a pat on the back here. This is 2 nights in a row and I haven't bitten on any of them yet. Robbie Haight said it's crazy that you can do what Klopp has done yet people still want him gone if he doesn't win a trophy. Madness. Who the question that I keep putting to anybody who suggests sacking him is, who the fuck are you going to bring in? Like, who is going to come in and do a better job than Jurgen Klopp right now? Name me any manager in the world that will come in and run this club better than that man is doing it now, because I can't think of one. I honestly can't. Do you think we could win the league next season if we buy Timo Werner? We're fucking winning it this year, Kirby, mate. So yeah, we'll win it this year. Of course we can win it next year. The Werner one is one that I want to talk about in a while, because I'm hearing such conflicting reports on Timo Werner. Not on his ability. His ability is unquestioned. I mean, about whether he's going to come or not. I just want to have a quick read through my notes, because in case I miss something. I want to go through the starting 11 for tomorrow as well. I've spoken about the thread on Twitter and Dominic Solanke. Oh yes, the Liverpool under-18s won the Mercedes-Benz Junior Cup by coming from behind to beat Rapid Vienna 3-2 in Sunday's final. After losing 4-3 to Atlanta United in their opening match, Liverpool responded strongly by recording victories over Stuttgart and Schalke. So 3-2 win in the final against Rapid Vienna. Always good to see the younger kids winning trophies. So just to reiterate, Liverpool's under-18s won the Mercedes-Benz Junior Cup by coming from behind to win 3-2 in the final. So again, well done. Sign that things are good with the up-and-coming kids. And look, every trophy for the kids matters. It gives them a taste, doesn't it? Whets the appetite and gets them hungry for when they get into the first team. What else have we got? Wolves lineup should be interesting. Not sure whether I'm really bothered about the FA Cup. Does Klopp need to win a trophy to become a Liverpool legend, or is he already a legend? Now that's a whole different kettle of fish. I think yes. I would say yes to that one. He does need to put trophies in the bank if you want to start talking about him as a legend. That's a different argument. So for me, in my opinion, mate, yes, he needs to put a league trophy, a league title in the bag, a couple of cups, then definitely. Look, if he wins a league title this year, we're gonna love him forever, because he ended that 28-29 year hoodoo, and that's too long for a club the size of ours. So yeah, I would say if he wins a league title, maybe puts another cup or two on the bank over the next year or two, absolutely for me he's a legend. But you know, he's up against stiff opposition because this club has a storied history, as we know. If we're an elite club, we should aim to win every game, not starting being indifferent to some, said Crosby Red. Imagine winning the double, says Maj Abdu. Or Abu, excuse me, mate. That's twice I've messed up your name. I'm sorry. I apologise. Pep said he wants the 4, by the way, for Manchester City. They're starting to talk about the quadruple already. Although they had a little chat about that last year and it didn't work out too well for them. Well, it fucking didn't work out too bad, actually, if I'm being honest. But you know what I mean. They didn't get near the quadruple. But they still did alright, to be fair to them. Jason Cundy said if Liverpool don't win the league, Alisson and VVD will want to leave. Jason Cundy can fuck off, the fat, bald and little prick. Who the hell cares what Jason Cundy has to say? His fucking own missus can't even listen to him. Jason Cundy, fuck off, honestly. He is an absolute plank. Yeah, fuck Jason Cundy. Jason Cundy and that fucking rag of a station that he works for. Can you say hi to Soldier and Sheila? Cheers, Craig. Hello, Soldier. Hello, Sheila. Thank you for watching. Sincerely, thank you. Really appreciate you guys coming in and joining us. Moreno's gone to put in a worldie tomorrow. Nah, he's not. Christopher, he's not. Sorry. No, he just really isn't, is he? He really isn't. Do you think Kane will leave Spurs if Poch goes to United? It's a tough one. It's a fucking really tough one. I'd be more concerned about the likes of Eriksen leaving because he only has 18 months left on his deal. And there's talk that they want 40 million for Pochettino from United. I don't know if that's true, but that's a figure I've seen in the papers today. I think Harry Kane will leave Spurs at some point. If they're not really challenging for trophies, he's going to want to end his career with silverware. He's good enough that he should demand to end his career with some silverware. I mean, I know we joke about him all the time, call him a diver or whatever, but he's a damn fine striker. One of the best around. So if Spurs don't win anything, yeah, I think he'll leave. But I don't know when. I mean, it's not fair of me to say when. I'm not a Spurs fan. Tina Murphy said people don't appreciate just what it is Klopp is doing with our team and club. We're ahead of where we expected to be at this point, in my opinion. He did talk about building, and we have built. We've progressed year on year on year, and now we're right at the pinnacle, right at the top of the league, and really fucking going toe to toe with a very, very good Manchester City squad. Hi Craig, this is LFC Lover on a different account. I made this so I couldn't comment on my other channel. Why is that, mate? You're not the first person that has said that to us, that they've had an issue, and Connor has checked a few other people and they haven't been blocked or anything. What was the hashtag 24? It was him talking out his fucking arse, mate. That's what the hashtag 24 was. Yeah, look, I've said a few times before, I don't know that Oliver dude. I don't know him from fucking Adam, but I don't like anybody that puts this cryptic bollocks into social media to try and say, ha ha ha, I know something fucking you don't know. Look, if you know something, Oliver Bond or anybody else that's out there, I don't know the guy, so I'm not going to judge Oliver Bond. But all I can say is, he was talking out his arse with the hashtag 24. He tried to cover his arse the next day by saying that he was talking about, was it fucking 24 hours or some fucking nonsense. I can't even remember what it was, but he was talking absolute bollocks. And I don't know Oliver Bond. I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to judge Anfield HQ because I've no right to. But I fucking despise people who just put that whole I know something you don't know bollocks into social media. If you've got something to fucking say, say it. If you don't, shut the fuck up. That's the way I look at things. Say it or shut the fuck up. And he didn't say it, but he just liked to put it out there. So it pissed me off. And it pissed a lot of other people off as well. Oh, look, Connor even responded there in the chat as well. So, there you go. To be honest, I want to win every game. So, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow against Wolves. Said Real Squad Records. I like your name, mate. Real Squad Records sounds fucking mint, to be honest. Jason Cundy talks some complete nonsensical crap. He's extremely anti-Liverpool. Extremely. I mean, he's a massive fucking London Chelsea head. He's extremely anti-Liverpool. And that's alright. I mean, that's completely his fucking right. But when he's speaking on Talk Sport or whatever fucking rag he works for, I don't even know. I don't listen to the fucking EG. I think he's on Talk Sport though. I don't know. I don't like him. I've never liked him. He has a face that you just want to. I won't say what I want to say because I realise I'm in a public place and there are kids watching and stuff. So I'm trying to wean myself down a bit from these little rants to an extent. But he just doesn't have a very nice face. Let's put it that way. Not that I do. I mean, I'm the white Malteser, the Irish fucking pit bull, the Bates and the B-Tech Bates, and I mean, I've heard them all, but I think a lot of people, Liverpool related, just don't like fucking Cundy. Do you think Tammy Abraham will do or will leave to go to Wolves? It'll be a very good move for him. A very good move for him to go to Wolves. They're a club on the up and a club that have money behind them. A club that have a powerful agent behind them as well. So if I was Tammy Abraham, I would certainly be trying to put that deal in place and move to Wolves at this moment in time. A very passionate fan base. A club that are looking forward. Yeah, I'd say go and do it if I was his agent. In your opinion, Craig, do you think that English managers are not good anymore? No, not at all. I think there's probably some fantastic English managers coming through. I just think that sometimes, like with players, foreign managers just sound sexier, or their CVs just sound a little bit more fancied than English managers. I think English coaches need to be given chances, but I also think that the English FA, and I'm not sure of the exact cost. I know over here in Ireland it's fucking ridiculous. But if you want to go and get your badges and you want to go right to the top level, it's pretty prohibitive if you're not getting backed by somebody, or if you don't take out a serious bank loan, or if you're not already a professional footballer, or your club is paying for it. It's very, very expensive to go all the way and get your badges. So I know other countries like Iceland, I think Spain, Germany, Holland, it's a lot easier to go and get your coaching badges right through to the top level. So I think England need to look at that. They need to lower the costs a lot. And I'm not saying England, Ireland needs to do it as well. We're in the same boat over here. But no, there are some very, very good managers coming through in England. And I absolutely think that they should be given a chance. Same with players. They used to say English players weren't technical enough, or English players weren't tactically aware enough. And it's just nonsense. It's just complete bullshit. English players are very technical. Look at Adam Lallana, a fantastically technically gifted player. And Paul Gascoigne, one of the most technically gifted footballers you'll ever see. I know he was a bit of an oddball, shall we say. But again, I just think it's nonsense. I think sometimes the foreign players, the foreign managers, they just sound a bit sexier for clubs. Sorry said, but what would your starting 11 be for tomorrow? Yes, I have done out a bit of a starting 11. Let me go through it here. And again, love to hear your thoughts on this, guys, and love to hear your starting 11s as well. So we spoke yesterday about it, and myself and Connor had a bit of a chat beforehand, but last night I sat down and I came up with myself. It's pretty similar, but after reading some articles today and having a think about it, I think we might end up going 4-4-2 tomorrow against Wolves. So with the 4-4-2 in mind, I've gone for Simon Mignolet in goal, Camacho, Lovren, Van Dijk and Moreno. I'm not sure whether we'll go Fabinho or Henderson. I think one of those two will play. So let's just say Fabinho for the argument's sake. Curtis Jones, Naby Keita and Shaqiri, and then up front Sturridge and Origi. So that's the 11 I think might start tomorrow. I put it out on social media. A lot of people believe there's no way Virgil van Dijk is starting tomorrow. I'd be amazed if he didn't start, personally, because we need him. We really do need his leadership on the field. So again, just to reiterate, Mignolet, Camacho, Lovren, Van Dijk and Moreno, Fabinho, Curtis Jones, Naby Keita, Sheridan Shaqiri, Daniel Sturridge and Divock Origi. That's the 11 I'd put out against Wolves in a 4-4-2. Now it's over to you guys. Love to know your thoughts, and of course love to know what your 11s would be. When is Brewster coming back from injury? A couple of weeks, Andre, I think. I think a couple of weeks he should be getting towards match fitness. Sad how football changed when teams are putting a less stronger side to play in the FA Cup, said Paul Turner. Oh, hashtag 24 was a transfer thing. I thought everybody was watching the show. No, it was just Oliver Bonds trying to make himself sound like Billy Big Bollocks. Likes, baby, said Tom. I don't know how many watching. I think somebody said there was 195 watching earlier on or something. So guys, look, if you are watching, please do drop a like on the stream. And of course, if you like what we're doing on here and you're enjoying the show, you're enjoying the chat with people, please do subscribe as well. All of our content on Anfield Agenda is 100% free, and it always will be. I need to put a little bit of a correction out there actually. Tomorrow I said that I'd be on from 7:30. But it was kindly pointed out to me by Scotty that it's actually a 7:45 kick-off tomorrow. So I'll be live from 7:15 for the watch along of the Wolves game tomorrow. So if you want to join us for that one, 7:15, turn on your notifications, click on subscribe, and then when we go live you'll get an alert and you can come on and interact with us, enjoy the game, have a bit of fun and a laugh, and hopefully enjoy Liverpool win and a progress through to the next round of the FA Cup. Cunty is a Chelsea tithead, said Paul Turner. Billy Maxwell said, Craig, I get that Ole Gunnar photo off you in Liverpool shirt. Craig, can I get it? Oh yes, mate, sorry, of course you can. If you want to either contact me on Twitter, Billy, if you're on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, mate, just send me an email to anfieldagenda@outlook.com and I'll happily email you the picture back, mate, no problem whatsoever. Cundy is a fucking bell end. I could read that all day. Cundy's a bell end. What? Cundy's a bell end? Cundy is a bell end. Cundy is a bell end? Cundy is a bell end. Cundy is a bell end. Yeah, it just sounds good. No matter what pitch I use, it still sounds good. VVD needs a rest for fuck's sake, said Sam. He does, Sam. I absolutely get you, mate. He 100% needs a rest. But can we rest them tomorrow and get risk on out of the FA Cup? If we had Matip, if we had Joe Gomez available, then absolutely, pal, I'd be saying rest them without a shadow of a doubt. But we don't really have anybody available. You can say play Fabinho there, you can say play James Milner there. It's still a massive chance, and you're probably going to have him on the bench anyway. So if I'm going to rest VVD, I'd rather rest him in a game where I know I can just keep him out of the matchday squad altogether and tell him to just go and relax. Is your team what you want it to be or what you think it will be? What I think it'll be, Robbie, more than what I want it to be. What I want it to be would probably be fucking the strongest 11 players we have, mate, because I want us to win every game. As much as I've said I don't really rate or care about the FA Cup, I really don't in the grand scheme of things, but right now I believe that 5 days between the FA Cup and the league game is enough time to get a bit of rest and get some players time to recover. So I'd go fairly strong, but that's the 11 I think we might see tomorrow. I wouldn't play VVD so he wouldn't get injured, said Kirby Power. Perfect game for Lazar to show he's a world class player, said Stephen Richards. Look, Stephen, don't be coming on here with your 65-inch television, fucking fella, thinking you're all that now. I'm only joking, mate. I'm fucking jealous as fuck. Stephen Richards got himself a brand spanking new 65-inch TV, and he said to me earlier on, I'll be watching your stream on it, and I just thought to myself, fuck me, nobody wants to see this big bald Irish head on a 65-inch screen. I watch it on I have a little 21-inch monitor here in front of me, and it frightens the shit out of me looking at it in here. So for you on a 65-inch, or for the guys in Calgary to be watching on a 55-inch, I mean, that's scary shit. My missus doesn't even want to look at my face on that big of a screen, and she's married to me. Losing to Wolves isn't embarrassing, said Sam. Not at all, mate. Wolves are a very, very good side. But when you're Liverpool, you kind of want to try and win any competition that you're in. So I understand both sides of the argument, Sam. I can understand people that want to go balls out, and I can understand people that want to rest. But at the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait and see what Klopp wants, because that's all that really matters. John Bale said, I think if Liverpool play team you just said, Wolves play the team that played Liverpool a few games ago, we'll lose. Or you will lose. Maybe, John. Completely possible, mate. I'm just working off the assumption that Klopp was probably going to want to rest a few. But as I said, if he goes and goes full strength, I have no problem with that whatsoever. He's the manager. I fully back whatever he wants to do. Why not start Miggs and Markovic? Because Markovic is beyond useless, Pepper Red. He's beyond useless. I think he's burnt every bridge that he has at Liverpool as well. And even the bridge that got him over the bridge to the next bridge. I think he managed to burn that one. Crosby Red said VVD has to play every game until Gomez comes back. And on that one, actually, I think there was a little bit of news on the fitness of Gomez and Matip. Yes, there was. So Kloppo was talking in his pre-match press conference, and he said, Joe is getting better, it's getting better, but he's not yet involved. Joel is maybe a little bit closer, I'm not sure, but hopefully he moves completely normal. We have to wait and see how his healing is. That's always how something is when it's broke, but from his movements it looks like it's nearly normal. There are still a few days to go until we can have them both in training. Joe isn't ready for contact, while the centre half is pretty important to have contact. Until then we'll just leave him with fitness work. The good thing is Joel can do all the fitness work already since about a week ago, so that means when he'll be back he'll be 100% fit, and then he just has to get rhythm and everything will be fine. So kind of working off Kloppo there. Matip seems to be a little bit ahead when it comes to getting back to the first team, so we'll probably see him introduced before maybe a week or so before Gomez, but good to see that they're both well along on the road to recovery, because we need them. We need everybody we can get at this moment in time, particularly from a defensive sense, because as you've rightly said, we need to rest Virgil van Dijk. He needs a fucking rest. I know he's a machine, I know he's not human like the rest of us, but he's still going to need a rest. Why don't we don't think we'll change formations with a lot of fringe players. Could be wrong though. Again, mate, I understand that. I'm just working off my own thoughts, looking back over a few things, but as I said, I'm just me, so I'm most likely going to be wrong on this anyway. VVD needs a rest, but we won't have any centre back options at the moment, said Claire. Craig, what's your thoughts on a possible treble for the Red Men this season? I mean, bring it on, Tony, mate. Bring it on. Can you imagine a double? A league and FA Cup double, or a league and Champions League double? Whatever double it includes, it should fucking be. The Premier League has to be in that double, so it'd be lovely, mate. Absolutely fucking lovely. And it would put to bed any doubts about this squad whatsoever if we won a double. But it's a long way to go for a double. A long way. Try and top our 7-0 victory. Look, mate, with all due respect, fantastic win. Spurs had a 7-0 victory away from home, so maybe that tops your 7-0. But look, at the end of the day, you made it through to the next round. No arguments, well done. I'm sure 7-0 will give you guys a lot of confidence, and yeah, probably exactly what the gaffer wanted. So no sour grapes here, pal. Congratulations on your win today. Congratulations to Spurs, to United, to everyone else that got through. Leicester went out though. Leicester to Newport. Fucking madness. 2-1. Would love to see the likes of Curtis Jones and Camacho playing, said Sheila Lee. I would love to see Curtis Jones get a game tomorrow. I think he deserves it. Anything I've seen of the guy, he's been top class. Genie needs a rest, as does VVD, said Claire. Imran's team is Mignolet, Trent, Lovren, Fabinho, Moreno, Keita, Lallana, Milner, Origi, Sturridge and Bobby Duncan. There's been absolutely no talk of Bobby Duncan being in and around the squad, Imran, that I've heard anyway, for tomorrow's game. I could have missed something, pal, but again, I don't think he's going to be there that I've seen. Maybe he can travel up with them, I don't know. Mate, it's only Wolves. Wasn't exactly a happy hunting ground for you guys this year. Did you draw at Wolves, mate? Or am I getting that completely wrong? Was that Chelsea or Spurs? But look, teams have come a cropper at Wolves. We didn't. We went there and won. But to me, mate, I'd more say it's only the FA Cup. I don't really. It's all about the league for me. I know for you guys, you won a double last year, and this year you're doing pretty well as well. But for us, the fucking league we're laser focused on it. Hey Craig, hope you had a good day. Maddock from the Mirror saying, Job? You've lost me, Ant, mate. Absolutely lost me with your Job one. Sheila Lee said that Abdul Kadir Umar looks really decent. I want Fakir so much, said Tyler Bowen. Rotherham is a good team though too. Yeah, they were. Look, I mean, you can never argue with a 7-0. It's always good for morale when your team goes and bangs someone 7-0. So, yeah, nothing wrong with it. I think what most managers want in any of these cup games or anything is just to get through them without injuries. And if they can do that, and some of the youth players get minutes, then it's a win-win. Craig, if you win a double, you're not getting back on the plane as the party won't have finished. I probably won't, mate. To be honest, I'll probably be there for a few days longer. It's great. I know a few more people now that are going over from Ireland for the final game. And one or two of them are on our flight as well, which is cool. So should be a bit of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Low Fat said, late evening chaps, Champions League for me chaps, FA Cup is not my cup of tea. I would say, mate, look, Low Fat, you said you're a City fan of many, many, many years. I would imagine that for you guys and Pep Guardiola and your owners, the Champions League would be the ultimate prize for you guys this year. As much as I'm sure you want the league as well, you'd have to, yeah. Champions League is a game changer for Manchester City. It puts them into, I don't want to say credibility a bit more because I'd be a very dismissive, and you don't deserve that because you're a very nice fella and we appreciate you coming on here all the time and you're very down to earth. But it would be a fucking game changer for you guys. It would put you up, really up into the top table. But I don't think you'll do it, if I'm being honest. Not this year. And a quick question, by the way, maybe Fourth Gamma and Lofat could answer me this. If Guardiola wasn't to win a Champions League this year or next year, how would you view his time at the club as a manager? I'm very interested to know that, please, gents, if you have a moment. That's why they're one of the weakest teams in the Championship. I think he was messing about Rotherham, to be fair. I have a feeling Keane Hoover will be on the bench tomorrow night, might even get a few minutes. And Klopp said, mate, that he probably won't. He'll travel up with the team, but he probably won't get game time. He thinks it's a little bit too soon for him. But then again, you know, he could be just winding us up. He could well be on the bench. One thing we do know, though, is that guy is very highly thought of in the club. And he has impressed people a lot since he's come. Hi Craig, hope you get 10,000 subscribers. Thank you very, very much, Mudasir. That's really kind of you, mate. I hope we get 10,000 subscribers as well. Do you agree that Keita is a flop? Absolutely not. Not a chance would I agree Keita is a flop. You cannot write any player off until at least 18 months into a new league. We've done that far too many times as Liverpool fans. Naby Keita, if I had to stake, I won't say my reputation because I don't fucking have one, but if I was to put $5,000 on whether he'd succeed or not succeed, I would put it down from to succeed, Mario. That's how highly I rate Naby Keita, and he will not be a flop at Liverpool. He will come good, and I think he's going to be a very important player for us going forward. He's a talented guy. Sometimes players just take a little bit longer. He's had a few injuries as well. I wouldn't write him off yet, not by a long way. Fuck Fakir, said Claire. We ain't getting him or want him. Dodgy knee and all. Pep starts a strong team versus Rotherham. No joke, said Fourth Gamma. I seen he did play a few. He played Foden. He played fucking what's his face. Who else did he play? He played Foden. He played Sterling. He played. Did he play Jesus? I didn't. I just seen the goal scorer, so I couldn't even tell you who the starting 11 was. But just looking at the goal scorers, it looks like he played quite a strong team. If we were playing Tiddlywinks, Craig, I'd want us to win, said Steve Eurytus. I don't blame you, pal. So would I. And if I was playing Tiddlywinks, I'd want to win as well. Because I'm just a competitive fucker. Even against my kids, I don't let them win. If they're going to win, they're going to earn it. And then when they do earn it, I'll be an antichrist and I'll go off in a big sulk and a big huff that the kids are finally beating me. Low Fat said, I was there today, fell asleep, pissed up, and the FA Cup lost its mojo. At least it sounds like you had a good one though, pal, which is always good. Nothing wrong with going out and celebrating, having a few scoops. Yeah, fuck it. I can understand though about it losing his mojo. I think a lot of people are thinking that it's just not the same, but when you get through to the latter stages of the FA Cup, it does become a little bit more important to a lot of people. Try beating Everton's 21-0, said Tom P. Yeah, Everton, the champions of pre-season. They won the pre-season cup with their 21-0 win against fucking mechanics from fucking Azerbaijan or wherever the hell they were from. Do you think Lallana will share whatever blackmail material he has on Klopp with Harry Wilson? Would love to see him get a chance. I swear for a long time I was fucking sure that Simon Mignolet had some of that material as well. I love that attitude though, mate. Nice one. Some more comments. Remember, with all the money Manchester City have got, you still cannot fill the stadium. Plus Manchester City have discount tickets but cannot fill the stadium. Also, City will never have same fans as Liverpool, said Imran. I'm perplexed with the whole Manchester City thing, I have to say. Look, like I've talked about their ownership and I've talked about the fact that I think they're fiddling. Push all that aside and just cut back to their fan base. You can't argue that when you went back to when they were in League One and the First Division, that they filled out Main Road. They did. They filled out Main Road. They supported the club down through the divisions, and they had a really strong, loyal core fan base. That has to still be there somewhere. So I'm pretty baffled as to why they don't sell out games. Maybe it's because fans have got a bit spoiled. I don't know. I can't speak on their behalf. I can totally speak on how I feel about their transfers and their money and all that stuff, but from a fan base point of view, I don't know. But what I can say is, from talking to a few of them on social media today, can you fuck off trying to create this rivalry with us and keep saying that you have beef over something? You're not relevant to us when it comes to rivalries. We respect you as a football team because you've got a great squad, but there is no rivalry with Manchester City. There is no rivalry with Tottenham. It's just not there with Liverpool fans. Everton and United are the rivals for us. They're the two clubs that we want to beat more than anybody else. City, you're just relevant at the minute because you're at the top of the league, but there's no inbuilt hatred or longing to beat you or to look at what you're doing that some Manchester City fans seem to believe is there with us at the minute. I mean, you're still going on about the bus incident, which I understand. I can't condone. Nobody can condone what happened there, but the sour grapes and the lack of admittance that we beat you over two legs in the Champions League has really left me with a sour taste from the stuff I've seen from Manchester City fans. I just think it was very fucking classless the way they've gone on and the way they've blamed everybody and everything but their players and manager on the fact that they went out. I'm trying to be fair on this and I'm trying to give a pretty humble view on it, because when you beat us the other day, I was on here and I said, no, sour grapes, you won 2-1, fair fucks, no bother. Where was that attitude when we beat them in the Champions League? Home and away. It was always somebody or something's fault. Build up to the game. Nothing is going to stop this team. We don't give a shit about your famous atmosphere at Anfield. The bus welcome won't bother us. Nothing's going to distract this team. You fell apart, home and away. But it was never down to the players or the manager. There was always UEFA, Liverpool, the fans, the media. There was just no class involved. And still to this day now, I'm seeing fucking Manchester City fans obsessed with what Liverpool are doing. I mean, if you type in LFC into Twitter and put it in and just search, you'll see more than half the fucking comments have nothing to do with Liverpool fans. It's baffling. I don't understand it. I wouldn't even think of going and looking at Manchester City stuff. It wouldn't enter my fucking head to do it. Or Manchester United stuff, or Spurs stuff, or Chelsea stuff. I mean, yeah, if it pops up on my timeline because somebody else retweeted it, I might look at it, but other than that, I couldn't be bothered. I don't understand why did they want to try and become relevant? Is that it? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Can somebody in the chat explain it to me? Maybe a Manchester City fan, maybe a Liverpool fan who thinks differently to me, because I don't get it. I just can't get my head around it. Cade is not a flop, said football fan. Pep was brought in to win the European Cup, so it'll be seen as a failure if he doesn't. There was comments though from our two Manchester City friends, so let's go down to them. I'm not here for trash talk. This guy seems nice. I'm honest, mate. That's it. You've shown respect in the chat to us, and I will absolutely give it back to you because I'm a decent fella. I like to think I am anyway, and so are the people in our chat. As you can ask your friend Lofat there, another Manchester City fan. He comes in a lot of the time, and he's been very nice, really nice fella. Welcomed in here, and we like when he drops back in, so I'm glad you're not here for trash talk. Thank you, because I'd love to get your opinion on certain things, and of course not ignoring all the Liverpool fans as well. I want to know your thoughts on Manchester City. Is Pep a failure if he doesn't win it? We've talked about Klopp from our point of view. Pep needs to win the Champions League for me, but I ain't slating his football brilliance in the Premier League as much as you won't slate Klopp. Again, totally get that. Cade is not a flop. He's only 22 from RB Leipzig, not a Barcelona regular. People need to get a grip and let him settle. You gotta let him settle. I mean, it can take 18 months for a player to settle into a league, sometimes even more. Some more comments. Where were we? I'd love Ben Woodburn back. He is back, Alex. He's at the club. He came back with an injury from Sheffield United. I don't know how long he's out for, but as far as I'm aware, he's still here. Did they end that loan for the entire season, or is it just because he's injured? I can't remember. People said Van Dijk was a flop and that he wasn't worth 75 million this time last year, and now look at him, said Luke. Liverpool always have to do things the hard way, said Sam. It's our calling card, mate, isn't it? I'm calling for a Moreno hat-trick against Wolves, said Robbie H. We don't need anybody for this January, said Neil. Bringing somebody in could unsettle the squad. Remember Asprilla and Newcastle. Yeah, but we're not Newcastle, and we ain't bringing in an Asprilla, and we don't have a Kevin Keegan in charge. There's a few things there that really... I mean, Keegan just fucking lost it, didn't he? He absolutely lost the plot. Swifty, how are you? Good evening. I was watching clips of Abdul Kadir Amor, and he's unreal, said Tyler Bowen. It is mad, isn't it? The amount, like, somebody just throws a name out there and we're all, boom, lasered in, looking at him, trying to convince ourselves that he's the answer to everything that we need. That Daddy Moses guy, the amount of people last year who were just fuming that he didn't come in, and now where has he gone? What's he done since? I don't have a problem with City, it's the Red Manx I dislike, said Shell Lee. Remember when Oxlade-Chamberlain had an awful debut against Leicester in the Cup, and now look at him. And Low Fat said that he hates United as well, which, you know, I fully expect. Manchester City used to get more against Gillingham in the 3rd division, and Low Fat said he only hates United, which you'd expect. I mean, they're your rivals, Manchester rivals, absolutely. I have to admit Chelsea are my personal rivals. I hate Chelsea, said Swifty Allen. The modern Manchester City fan is a plastic team with tag-along fans, said Stephen Richards. Man City fans, if it was not for your owners, you'd be in non-league, plus all your players have gone for money. Liverpool will always be Liverpool because of the city, history and fans. You can't really blame their fans on that though, to be fair. I don't want to fucking stick up for Manchester City fans, but there are Manchester City fans that were always there, and it wasn't their fucking fault that somebody came in and threw money at their club. And yes, there's a load of glory hunting fucks that support the club that would probably support Chelsea if they were winning in a year's time, or Liverpool if they were winning, or Manchester United if they were winning. And that happens, that comes with success. It's just the emptiness in the stadium that I think a lot of us can't get our heads around. I love Craig's rants. Thank you, Niall. I've tried to wind them back in a little bit, mate, though. I'm a bit more aware that I've got some younger viewers watching, so I'm trying to be a bit calmer than I used to be. We might not have a history, but we're working on it. It's a fair comment, mate. I mean, yeah, that's all you can do, I suppose. Klopp and VVD are not even the same, or Flop and VVD. Sorry, Claire, I auto-corrected you because I thought you'd wrote it wrong, but you didn't. I just didn't read the entire sentence. Flop and VVD are not even in the same sentence, ever. Boss player, even at the Saints. Roberto, how are you, sir? You guys seen Allegri versus Klopp beef? Maybe somebody has, Roberto, but I haven't, mate. And while you're in, pal, give us your thoughts on Emre Can's time at Juventus, because we were speaking about him a little bit earlier on, before you came into the chat. All Chelsea fans do is sing about how players react to other clubs and ex-Liverpool players. Look, I've been a bit more respectful to Manchester City because there's a couple of nice people in the chat here, but Chelsea fans, I've got nothing good to say about any of the Chelsea fans I've come across. I've got to be honest. They seem like a bunch of arrogant bastards. Sorry, that's my honest opinion on it, and I've been very consistent on that from day one. I don't like them. I've come across them when I've been at games. I've met them, a lot of them on social media, and yes, I'm sure there are fucking lovely Chelsea fans, but what I'm saying is they have more than their fair share of assholes. More than their fair share. And you cannot deny that they're forever fucking singing about other clubs and other players, and just support your own fucking team. Shut the fuck up. Stop being racist. Stop being anti-Semitic. Stop being homophobic, and just concentrate on your own fucking team and players and enjoy what's there. And enjoy Hazard for the 6 or few months you still have him left before he goes to Real Madrid. No offence, City fans, but Guardiola's kind of a cash cow. I spoke about this actually with someone the other day. There are managers like Guardiola, maybe even, who else am I trying to think of here? There's a few managers, maybe Mourinho to an extent, that are cash cow managers, but the game does need those type of managers as well. you're always going to need managers to manage the superstars. So you're always going to need people to be able to deal with those type of egos and people that get paid that type of money. There you go. Fourth generation or Papa, sorry. Thank you for dropping in, pal. And I see you're heading off now, so I'm sure we'll catch up soon. I would wish you the best with the rest of the season, but I wouldn't mean it, nor would you to me, pal. So thank you for dropping in and for being polite. Appreciate it. Klopp was brought in to bring Champions League football back. He won't be a failure, but not a success either, said Callum. Craig would love that Turkish kid to come to Liverpool, said Stephen Richards. Low Fat said, I don't see Liverpool as rivals. Thank you for your honesty, Pat. If City got rid of their Arabian cash cow, they'd be in Division 2. They probably wouldn't, to be fair, at this point, because any team in the Premier League, with the structure that they have, they'd probably be alright. I fucking hate saying that, but I'm a realist. I'm trying to be honest. Gonna treat myself to a packet of cheese and onion Kyo's crisps on Saturday, said Paul. Man, you do you, Paul. You got stuck in. They're fucking delicious. I'm gonna have a bag after. I'm going on a diet from tomorrow, by the way. There you go. I said before that when you start your New Year's resolutions, I don't start mine until the week after the New Year, because it would be I'd be lying to myself if I said I was going to start a New Year's Day, because there's just too much shit going on. Kids are still off school, house is fucking upside down. I start mine on the Monday after. So tomorrow, I'm giving up all the fucking fatty foods. I'm giving up all that shit. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. I'm not going to the gym. I'm just going to try and eat less and eat healthier and try and drop some weight, because I've lost a shit ton. I've put some back on and I don't want to get back to anywhere near what I was. So I'm going to try and get back down the other direction. I'm drinking my diet chav though, because that's never going away. But yeah, Paul, I'm going to have my last bag of cheese and onion Kyo's tonight as well, buddy. So wish me luck. Hey Craig, hope you had a good day. Maddock from the Mirror saying Camacho and Jones and Hoover could all start. Thoughts? Again, just my thoughts would be the Klopp said Hoover probably won't start. It's a little bit too soon for him, but I'd love to see Jones start. I'd love to see him start. I think he's earned it. His pre-season performances were sensational. Some more. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with all your comments, guys. I haven't even gone through my agenda too much, because I just want to go through all your comments. Guys, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, what are we? 10 away from 70,050. So if you're watching, please do hit that subscribe button, and of course drop a like on the stream. Thank you to everyone that watched the transfer video earlier on, and to everyone that's joined us so far tonight. We have about 45 minutes left on tonight's stream, so still plenty of time to get your comments in. Do you think United will roll over for City? Not a hope. Not a hope, Cameron. I mean, no. They just wouldn't. There's just too much pride there when it comes to a City derby like that. There's no way they're going to roll over for them. Everton, on the other hand, they would roll over for City to fuck us over. That I'd have no doubts about. I don't hate United, I just fucking despise their fans, said Logan. Spurs ever win any cup? No. And that's the thing. That's why people are asking about Harry Kane heading off and that as well. Yes, Pochettino has done excellently establishing them as a top 4 club, and that's what they are. They're not really challengers, really. I don't think. That's just my opinion. But they're definitely an established top 4 club. But that next step has to be to lift the trophy. But by trying to do the right thing, Spurs may have actually fucked themselves over in the short term, because building that new stadium is undoubtedly a really good way of sorting out the future of the club and making sure that they're going to keep growing and have a revenue stream and fill their stadium, and it's such a good thing in so many ways. But I don't know if it almost came at the wrong time for them, because they're at the stage now where they're the most successful they've been in my adult life with Spurs around. They've a manager who's fantastic. They've got a really good group of players, and they need to invest in that squad, but they don't seem to have the money to invest in the squad because they're financially overstretched with the stadium. Stadium's costing them a lot more than they thought it would. Yeah, it must be a really, really tough time to be a Spurs fan, because you're really happy with where you are. You want to make the next push on, but are they financially able to, because of their club doing the right thing and investing in a new stadium? And the chairman has played a blinder, I have to say. I have a lot of respect for Daniel Levy. I think he's one of the best chairmen in the Premier League. But Pochettino needs funds, and I don't think they're going to be available to him unless maybe they cash in on one of their big assets and do what Klopp has done and bring in 2 or 3 more players, and maybe that's the way forward for Spurs. I don't know. Did you see what happened to Wayne Rooney? Yeah, something about him getting drunk and being abusive, I think. Is that right? Or he was done for being drunk and disorderly or something along those lines, I think. I could be wrong though, but yeah, I'm sure somebody will put in the chat exactly what it was. But look, that's Rooney, isn't it? He's just a loudmouth fucking yob at the end of the day. For me, when I look at Wayne Rooney's career, I don't think he lived up to his potential. I know he won shit with Manchester United, I know he did. But I just think he could have been better than he was. I think he had the talent to just have an even better career than the one that he had. Yeah, I don't know. Never really liked the guy though. He always seemed like looked like a bit of a dick. I held Chelsea the only people in the Premier League to tolerate racism. I'm sure that the club, deep down, do not tolerate racism in any way. Nor I'm sure that they tolerate anti-Semitism, homophobia, anything like that. But there are some idiots in this world that infiltrate fan bases, and at the moment they seem to have a fucking few of them. Who do you think we will sign, said Tyler Bowen. In this window, mate, I'm not so sure we're going to sign anybody. Perhaps a young fullback, maybe that guy from Bristol City. Other than that, I don't know. Let's move on, have a little chat about Timo Werner, because a lot of people were talking about him earlier on, and there's been a lot of conflicting reports on social media around this, and I suppose even in the mainstream media. Some journalists saying it's absolutely not happening this January, and Liverpool may look at something in the summer, but nothing is being talked about at the minute. And then you've got other people swearing blind that Liverpool are in negotiations. A figure of around 40 million is apparently enough. But even those people are saying that it'll probably be the summer when he comes in, but yet a deal could be done in January. Now, I'd love to know what you guys really think about this one. Do you think it's going to happen? I'm fully convinced Fekir is finished, by the way. I just don't think that one's happening at all. Yeah, I said all along, if it didn't happen in the summer, for me it wasn't going to happen. There was talk that it might be looked at again in January. I think if it was going to happen, it would have been done at the start of January. We would have had the deal lined up, and it would have been something like Van Dijk. He just arrived in, and it would have been nice and early, all tied up and good to go. The fact that it wasn't leads me to believe that it just isn't happening. Yeah, just my opinion. But let's talk about Werner anyway, and let me know what you think on him. Fourth generation Papa said, I hate Chelsea. You're not the only one, mate. You're not the only one. That's one thing I think we'll definitely agree on in here. Most of us haven't got much time for Chelsea. Excuse me for that cough down the microphone, guys. I apologise. Anybody want to buy a United scarf for when they play City? No, I'll pass, thank you, pal. I can't read that comment out. There's some comments there that I just can't read out. I see United and Everton as rivals, but I cannot stand Chelsea, said Robbie H. What's a decent Chelsea's fans' favourite type of steak? Rare? Again, it's gone over my head, mate. Maybe I've missed that joke. Looks like Mignolet, Moreno, Keita and Lallana will start, said Ferno. Do you think we'll get Abdul Kadir Amor? I don't know, Louis. It's the honest answer. I feel really be a hypocrite here. I don't know anything about the guy. We only heard of him, if we're being honest, 95% of us probably only heard of him in the past week. And I haven't got a clue. I'd be lying if I said I think we're going to get him. I'd be lying if I said I know much about the guy. Yeah, I've just got to be honest and say I know fucking nothing about him. Only that we've been linked to him for 27 million. That's it. I see Ericsson leaving, said OJ, with regards to the Spurs. So do I, deep down, hand on heart. I think he's going to leave because he's got 18 months left. He's going to have offers. I mean, he's coming to the peak of his career now. I can see him in a Barcelona shirt at some point. Kiana, I'm kind of excited about. I can't lie, I hope he gets some game time soon, said Louis. What else have we got? Good on you, Craig. Do your best to stay healthy. Thank you, pal. I've got to do it. I'm never letting myself get back to as heavy as I was. Never. Donnelly's crisps are better. Fuck you, they're nowhere near as nice. And that was a nice fuck you, by the way, Jimmy. That wasn't a undermining fuck you. That was a friendly fuck you. They really aren't, pal. I mean, I've tried to pawn my missus off with them sometimes because they're a little bit cheaper, and she just ain't having it. They know. Well, look, it's a personal thing, I suppose. So I can't tell you that crisps aren't nicer, mate. If you think they're nicer, then why am I even arguing? Because you obviously have your opinion and I have mine. But at least we both like crisps. That's a good thing. We can agree on that one. Money wins matches. Just look at PSG. PSG are fucking horrible, mate. Absolutely classless bunch of clowns, that club. Good on you, Craig. Do your best to stay healthy. I'd rather Chelsea win the league than United, said David Davies. Cahill has a question for the City fans. Do you think Pep will extend his deal if you don't win the Champions League this season? At Bayern, he gave up after a while. I can see him going to PSG in the future. Not a diet, a change of lifestyle. Never deprive yourself of anything. Oh, see, that's the funny thing, Joanne. I know where you're coming from, and you're right, because to sustain something, you are absolutely spot on. You have to have a change of lifestyle. I'm a little bit different. As you know, I'm an Aspie, and I think you might be as well, or your son is, or somebody in your family is. I'm sorry if I've forgotten. But I'm wired differently. The depriving myself actually drives me on. So that would work for me more than changing my lifestyle. I know that's weird, isn't it? It's weird to say that, but I like that depravity. I like feeling hard done by on something. It makes me want to push on, so I'd probably be better that way. Seeing Robbie from AFTV chatting shite on his podcast about True Geordie and his mate. That channel is full of bell ends. I don't know True Geordie, don't watch any of his stuff. I've heard very good things about him, so I won't comment on him because, as I said, I don't know the guy. I know people who love his stuff though, so he must be doing something right. I also don't know Robbie, but I do know AFTV, and I do not like them. I do not like what they do. I don't like the way they portray their own fan base. So the channel being full of bell ends, I would agree with. I've never want to work with those fuckers in any way, shape or form. I don't like the way they portray their own fans. They make their own fans look like a bunch of dickheads and make money off the back of it. That's my opinion on them. I don't mind watching and laughing at them occasionally because I'm an outsider, but if you're setting up a fan channel, it's usually to support your club, to show your fans in a positive light, to give your fans a voice, and to give an insight to life as a fan. I don't think that's what they try and do. From my viewing of it, I think that they just try and set their own fans up, try and get as many over the top reactions as possible, try and get people doing fucking stupid things and hope they go viral and try and cash in on it. And the thing that they did with the Sun was unforgivable for me. Once they did that work with the Sun, they can fuck right off as far as I'm concerned. And then you've got Mr. Double Digits, who is just the biggest dick of them all. Lucas got Player of the Year at Lazio. I've seen the vote, Kev. Liverpool fans absolutely fucking smashed that one. Is it 80% or something ridiculous like that? We're 8 subscribers away from hitting 7,050, guys. So if you are watching, please do hit that subscribe button. Can't believe we flew past 7,000 last night. That was class. Craig, eat a big bag of quavers and put some curls in your bonts. I don't like quavers, mate. They're a little bit too what's the phrase I'm looking for? Cheesy, probably. Oh, you fucking gobshite, Craig. James Milner started his first league game at 16. I'm sure Hoover is old enough to start if he's good enough. Kiana, I'm kind of excited about. I can't lie. I hope he gets some game time. Why do clubs start their second team in cup games? I suppose just to try and rest players and gamble that they get through, mate. At this point with the Champions League and the busy Christmas period, yeah, I think they just probably want to save legs. There's a lot of City fans watching the live stream purely about Liverpool. That's okay though. Do you know what though? As I said, we welcome fans from any club in, as long as they're in here to talk football. And to be fair to the gentlemen from Manchester City that have come in, that's all they've done. And we've had a few United fans that have come in and done the same. And you know what? We can be in our own Liverpool bubble sometimes. It's nice to get a viewpoint from other fans to see how they're looking at us, how they're looking at their league campaign, the Champions League. Personally, I just like to get as many opinions as possible. Although I want 99% of those opinions to be Reds, obviously. It is nice to get a mixture in. We can get sick of fucking looking at each other every night. Tell the truth, guys. Tell the truth. Do you agree with Klopp to start Moreno? Yes, because I think we need to give a rest to Robbo. So yeah, absolutely. I don't rate Moreno. If that was the question, no, I don't rate him. But I understand why Klopp is doing it. Spurs will feel the heat of the Red Devil, said Bio 2.0. I'm really interested to see how that game goes. Yes, I will watch that game, I think. That Spurs stadium looks drab, or Anfield is colourful, said Stephen Richards. Kev has put in the Anfield Agenda Instagram account, so if anybody wants to give it a follow, the link is in there. But if you're already on Instagram and you just want to have a search, it's just at Anfield Agenda or Anfield Agenda. Well done to Kev, he's got us past 3,000 followers on there, so thank you for that one, buddy. I'm not on Instagram personally, because I mean, who wants to look at pictures of this fucking idiot? But if you are on there and that's your thing, Kev runs the account really, really well. So jump over there, give Anfield Agenda a follow, and say hello to Kev. I think Kev works shout out for shout out as well, with the big accounts on there, Kev, I believe. What else we got? The pressure is now on Liverpool. Is it? I don't feel under any pressure, fourth generation Papa, to be honest. I'd feel under pressure if we were chasing you guys, but we've got a lead of 4 points. If you would have offered me this, and most Liverpool fans this, going into the Christmas period, we'd have bitten your hand off. So I don't feel we're under any pressure whatsoever. Honestly, I don't. If we'd have won the game, I think we'd have won the league easily. But now I'm still confident we'll go on and win it. I've looked at our fixtures, they're pretty similar. We both have just United away, a couple of the bigger teams at home, and then it's just a matter of who holds out. So I don't feel pressure, I feel excitement, and I'm looking forward to what's ahead for the rest of the season. Yeah, that's my honest opinion though, buddy. Do you think Liverpool will go unbeaten out till the end of the season? No, I probably think there's probably another loss in there somewhere. But I also don't think City will go unbeaten till the end of the season, if I'm being honest. I think both of us will probably have another loss somewhere along the line, but you know what, that's okay. We're still talking about ridiculously high points totals here to win the league. Look back to the history of the Premier League. Mid 80s, 87s, you've won Premier Leagues with that. Now you're talking about mid to high 90s to have to go and win the Premier League. So yeah, it's tough, but no, I never thought we'd go unbeaten this year anyway. I've said that all along. If we did, it's a massive bonus, but we can't now, obviously. But no, I don't think we will. I think we'll probably lose a game somewhere. Hopefully it's the last game of the season when not the last game, the second last game, but we've already won the league at that point, so it's alright. Rooney drunk and disorderly, he's a dick, said Stephen Richards. Son is underrated in my opinion. He's a fantastic footballer, absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy that he's fucking off with South Korea for a few weeks, so Spurs will be without him, which is good news for us and for City, I suppose, as well. I'd honestly rather have Son than Mane, said David Davidson. It's a tough one. It is a tough call. I like them both, if I'm being honest, but they're very similar in so many ways, David, because they can both do amazing things, but they can both be really fucking frustrating as well. But I like Sadio. I'm happy with having Sadio at the club, and I wouldn't trade him for Son, but I appreciate both players. I think they're both very good footballers. Luis Suarez scored a screamer. What the fuck is going on at Real Madrid, by the way? They lost again. Was it the Sociedad in Madrid? What the fuck is going on there? We tried to be clean, but it wasn't working for us. Now it's time to get filthy with it. Werner is joining, I hope, said Sam. Keanu Hoover could write Liverpool history after being given a dream FA Cup call-up. He's part of the squad that will visit Wolves for the third round tie and has been handed the number 51 shirt. Thank you, Louis. R.I.P. Fakir. Do you think a January signing is crucial for winning the league? No, Robbie, mate, not at all. In fact, some people would argue that they don't want anybody in January just because they don't want us to be destabilised. I can understand both sides of the coin. What else have we got? Where was Lofat's comment? Liverpool bookies favourites. We'd have to be, surely. We're 4 points clear. If it was the other way around, I wouldn't understand if we were favourites. I mean, whoever's top of the league, and has a gap, they should be the fucking favourites, surely. 90 in line 8 said pressures on Manchester City. They need Liverpool to lose 2 games minimum. A win, no they don't. A draw and a loss would be enough for them to go ahead of us if they kept winning. What else we got? Inactive brain cell. United have fallen off. I don't know. Pepper Red. Who's that? Oh, there's a United fan in as well, is there? Chelsea is messed up. Said DTube22. United will make it to top 4. Said, is it Jasrup Skills? I don't think they will, mate. If I'm being honest, they're probably cut it close because they're definitely going to come a bit stronger. But I think there might be too much of a gap there. But look, if I'm a United fan, I'm hoping and thinking the same. So again, let's just wait and see. I'm so fucking glad that's not relevant to us though. We're looking down at this moment in time, which is fucking delicious. City are reigning champions. They have the pressure, said Pepper Red. Pressure's not on us, it's on the Blue Manx and it's coming from Spurs. We have the better fixtures coming up the Reds, said Tom Connolly. Right, where are we? Some more comments. Fucking hell, I thought I'd caught up. You guys are just too quick with your comments. 7 subscribers to go, guys, till we hit our next marker. So if you are watching, please do hit that subscribe button. City have lost to Palace and Leicester, so more points will be dropped by them, said Neil Anthony. United are irrelevant, said Shia Lee, which, let's be fair, they are irrelevant to us at this moment in time. That they're relevant to Arsenal and Chelsea because that's who they're battling with for that last place. It's so tough now though, isn't it? I mean, you look at the 6 clubs, United, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, and 4 places in that top 4. Obviously you fucking bald idiot, but 4 places there for 6 clubs. Every year 2 big clubs are going to have to miss out on the Champions League. So it's getting fucking tougher and tougher and tougher to just be consistently in that group. Who here is from Ireland? James Murphy wants to know. Obviously I am James. I think that's pretty obvious. Claire said Son is a soft no, Craig, try and get a sentence out that's actually fucking audible. Son is a top player, said Claire. Would stick with Mane though. Liverpool needs the lit. He's gone to Barcelona, mate. As far as I'm aware, he's gone to Barcelona. I could be wrong. I was right about some of the longer term transfers I was talking about with Rabiot and stuff, and I think he'll end up there as well. Do we think anybody else is leaving in this window? Possibly Origi, Connor. Interest from Fulham for 15 million that's been reported in the media. Whether Klopp lets him go or not now, that's a whole another thing. But Ryan Brewster coming back with the front 3 that we have, with Daniel Sturridge there, I don't know if it would be too much of a gamble, but the club want to move him on. There's no secret about that. They tried to move him on last summer. After this year, he'll be going into his last year of his contract, so it makes sense to try and cash in on him. So if Fulham come in with 15 million, I think realistically they might sell him. Liverpool aren't looking at the lit. Anyone that thinks Liverpool are looking at the lit is going to be very, very, very disappointed. I'm sure they've looked at him, but once they heard the figures being bandied around and the fact that it's going to take Manchester United, Barcelona, a world record fee for a defender to get him in. I mean, you're talking about bypassing the 75 million quid we paid for Van Dijk. Can't see us doing that again. Not for somebody who we're not in desperate need of. We do need another centre back. I agree with that. We need to move on either Lovren or Matip, but not for that amount of money. Not yet. Not when we have Nathaniel Phillips coming through. Not when we have Gomez at the club, Van Dijk, maybe one more, but not 75-80 million. I'd be amazed. I mean, it would just be spitting in the face of Joe Gomez to do that. Madrid want Hodgson. Can they afford him? You know, Hodgson is, top man. See, Jose Mourinho turned down a move to Benfica today apparently. He said that he's not quite ready to go back to the Portuguese league, which translated means, look, fuck off, I still have a career yet, I'm not ready for easy retirement money, I'm not going back to Portugal. I mean, let's be honest, that's what he was saying. Liverpool can only afford one more loss before it gets a bit squeaky bum. I mean, I wouldn't argue with that. 1 point lead is definitely squeaky bum. But again, mate, it's up to City as well to stay unbeaten, and they haven't been able to do it so far. I mean, you dropped two fucking ridiculous losses over the Christmas period, like two silly losses. So when the Champions League comes a knocking and the pressure's there again, and maybe a few injuries start popping up, it could be squeaky bum time for you guys just as much as us. I like your show and appreciate your passion, said Boston 9. Is it 1,900 and what was it? No, 19,801 or 19801. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that, and welcome. I hope you subscribe, by the way, Boston. Well, thank you and welcome to the show. Sometimes my passion is a little bit fucking stupid, but I'm glad that you appreciate it. Sometimes I look at it back and I go, what were you fucking thinking, you moron? What were you doing? And my wife as well sometimes goes and gets me at the end of the shows and goes, you shouldn't have said that, or you shouldn't have interacted with him, or you shouldn't have bitten on that troll's comment. But I am passionate, as you said, so sometimes I can't help myself. Right, Rick Harrison is in. How are you, sir? Not gonna lie, I'm fuming. Solanke is gone. Young English talent. Could see him being an English Lewandowski. He was so good. Solanke was about to have his breakthrough season next season. The good news, Rick, is that we do have a buyback on that one, or first refusal. So if he does go on and be shit hot, we can get him back in. So again, I think it was, from my point of view, I think it was good business. We freed up some cash. We've brought him in. We've got a buyback on him. Well, I keep saying buyback. The honest answer is I don't know if it's a buyback or a first refusal. But we do have a better chance of buying him than anybody else if he becomes good. United will get top 4, said buyout 2.0. I don't think so. But look, that's just my opinion. And my opinion doesn't matter one fucking dot to Manchester United fans. Why should it? Liverpool defo have the pressure, said Active Dan. It's funny how everybody else is telling us that we should have pressure, but we don't feel that pressure. It's weird, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not saying this in a derogatory way. I'm being genuine. I don't feel the pressure. I'm just happy that we are where we are. Yeah, I didn't think we'd be here at the start of the season, so to be where we are, I don't feel pressure. I feel privileged. I feel fucking delighted to be where we are. And I feel full of belief that this squad can go on and carry on doing what they're doing. So, from my opinion, there is absolutely no pressure on us. And I think that the squad look like they're enjoying themselves as well. Claire said, Liverpool, City, Spurs and Chelsea are her top 4 since last year. Jonathan King said, Manchester City have some tricky games on the way. Liverpool may need to stay strong and pick up all their points. What else have we got? Who do you think will finish 7th? I haven't got a fucking clue. Everton, maybe? Depends if they can put a run together. Tony Marshall, the King, is from Cork. How are you, sir? Somebody asked earlier on about Limerick. Cod Ace 9 is from Limerick. Mane misses a lot of chances. He does. He can be a little bit inconsistent in front of goal. Absolutely, I can't argue about that. But he can be fucking amazing as well. And he can do some ridiculous stuff. I'm from Wexford, said Hugh. Oh, another lad from Wexford. There's quite a few of us actually from Wexford in this group now. Cahill said, I think United will get top 4. I despise them, but they've a better squad than Arsenal or Chelsea. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keeps them focused, that is. And Brian, of course, is from Waterford. I knew that one. Would love Origi at Leicester, said LC Ella. No, I can't read today. I'm just a fucking idiot. Leicester City FC Boya. That's probably the way I should have said it. Said he would love Origi at Leicester. How's Iheanacho getting on there, mate? I've often wondered about that because I only see him occasionally when I watch games. But has he progressed at all there, or are you a little bit disappointed in him? We always show up at Old Trafford under Pep. We'll beat United in March, said Low Fat. Jace is in the house. How are we, Mr. Roberts? Haven't seen you in a while. Liverpool looked at the lit in the same way I look at Kelly Brook, said Jace. Liverpool had a wank over the lit. Wow. Because we all know that that's how we've looked at Kelly Brook, Jace. Tell the truth. I'm getting brave now because I think my wife's asleep, but she's going to slap fuck out of me now when she hears this. LFC doesn't spend huge money. We only did it because they sold Coutinho, said Samuel. City won't lose against United, said Low Fat. We spend money cleverly, said Brian. Oh my god, what are we talking about? Lol. I've no idea what that means. Well, I know what lol means, but I've no idea what the comment was about. O-Dog said if United overtake Arsenal and Chelsea, they'll make top 4. Brilliant. Brilliant. Talk about the most obvious statement of the year, buddy, but I know you were joking as well because you had a smiley face at the end of it. Niall Hill says City get worse after Christmas points wise, finished 25 points ahead of us last year but only gained 5 on us in the new year. Can't see them catching us. Look, one thing that you cannot argue about with Pep Guardiola teams, and I've said this time and time and time again, they always start the season quick and after that they fall away a little bit, and Low Fat may not agree with me but they are facts. Pep Guardiola always almost has the league won by Christmas. He's never won a league that he hasn't been top of at Christmas. And I don't think that's going to change this year because I fully believe we're going to win the league. And I fully believe that you're going to drop some more silly points. You may think you're going to go and win at United and you're fucking more than capable of doing it. I absolutely agree. But I think you will switch off at some point as well and fuck up something stupid. Maybe it's around the Champions League games or something, I don't know. Just my opinion though. I mean, at the end of the day, none of us know what's going to happen. We're all just hoping and guessing and praying and fucking screaming and but how good is it to have a title race? How good is it? We're involved in one, which is brilliant for us, but it's ridiculous when somebody just goes and wins the league by 20 points. So to have a title race, it makes it interesting for everybody, whether you're a Liverpool fan, a City fan, just somebody that hates Liverpool or somebody that hates City. At least the league has a bit of interest in it this year.
I didn't find any notes. Matchingly has a bit of interest.
My phone thinks that it's being called on here to chat. There you go. It's mad, isn't it? Fucking phone has a mind of its own. I don't even know what it was looking for. Did you hear that? I didn't find anything. I never a bit of interest. I don't know what the fuck it was saying. Apologies about that one, guys. We need to buy a world-class midfielder, central attacking midfielder like Verratti, Kroos, Modric, David Silva or Kevin De Bruyne. I would love Verratti. I fucking love Verratti. He's one of my dream signings, but I know he's never going to come in. Guys, we have 20 minutes left on tonight's stream, so if there's anything else you want to ask or anything you want to talk about, still time to put it in. And we only need 5 subscribers to get to the 50 mark. So if you are watching, please do hit that button. Pep is not good at coming from behind. Ooh, hello soldier. Koulibaly, Bully, Salah, what you want about? What the fuck are we talking about Koulibaly and Salah for? This is a weird conversation. You guys are having some fucking... And nobody bullies Salah, by the way. Nobody. As good as Koulibaly is, fucking nobody bullies Mohamed Salah. VVD has only lost 1 tackle in the league this season, and that is not a joke. That is actually statistically correct. I'd seen that earlier on. How mad is that? Virgil van Dijk has lost 1 fucking tackle. 1 tackle all season. That is ridiculous. Craig, we're so winning the league this time, said Claire. Manchester City squad still better than Liverpool squad in my opinion. City squad is obviously disgustingly deep. Liverpool, just their coach better and structure better, not being complacent so far. That's probably a fair comment. I think Pep is worried about the league, which is why he played a top side today against a very poor Rotherham side. If they were 20 out ahead, no chance he played that side. And they have another game as well coming up, don't forget, one of the 2 games in the semi-final of the League Cup. But they do have the easy fucking tie as well, to be fair. Jersey Boy, thank you for the super chat, mate. Your channel is amazing. Up the Reds. Mate, that's really kind of you, thank you. The channel's only so good because of the people that are in here. I keep saying it and maybe people think I'm taking the piss, but I'm deadly serious. I believe 100% that we have the best subscribers of any football channel because they're honest, genuine people that don't talk shit. They have a bit of fun. Yeah, they can take a bit of banter as well, but they're a really nice group. So thank you for your comment, but it should be aimed at the people in the chat because without you guys this channel wouldn't be jack shit. So thank you, and you know I love you all. Even you, Ferno, mate, even you. Ramos rips his arm off. Ramos is a prick, let's be honest. He's a prick now in a club that's falling apart. So good enough for him. Fuck Ramos. Liverpool is capable of winning all the trophies the challenge is in, said Ja Ben, which is true. We are capable because we're a very good side, as are City. it's just a really Wexford sheepshaggers. I'm from Dublin originally, mate, so if that's aimed at me to have a joke, I couldn't give a fuck about Wexford sheepshaggers. Call me a sheepshagger, I couldn't give a fuck. It means nothing to me. If that, banter is shit. Come on, you're better than that. Careful when you go to bed, bud, your wife would be lurking with that Kelly Brook joke. She fucking cut my balls off, mate, there's no two ways about it. She heard that, I'm a dead man walking. United Stand is the best, mate. Good channel, run by a nice fella. I'm not going to sit here and slag them off. Best of luck to them. And they help us out as well, so they'll always have a thumbs up from us because of that. Jersey Boy said, do you think City will lose any more games? Yes, I do, but I think so will we. I think we'll both drop points between now and the end of the season, because the Champions League is coming up. The pressure is going to be intensified. Who knows what injuries might pop up. And it's very, very tough to keep the intensity level that high throughout an entire season without a decision going against you earlier on, or picking up a red card, or something changing a game. So yes, I think both clubs, mate, will drop points as the season goes on. But it's fucking deadly, isn't it? It's so much fun. I'm really looking forward to the last few months of the season. The reason we'll win the league is I have a feeling Keita is going to really turn us around. The midfield will be Gina, Keita and Fabinho. And as I said earlier on, I think there's a lot more to come from Naby Keita this season. Anybody who's writing him off, I think, should forget about that, because he's going to be exceptional once he settles in. What channel is the match on tomorrow? It's on BBC, Marshall, so it should be free to air, so everybody should be able to watch it. Don't worry, mate, I'm Welsh and constantly called a sheepshagger. It's absolutely not offensive at all to me, mate. It's just silly. If anything, a strawberry fucker would be more correct if you're going to slag people from Wexford, because we grow strawberries down here more than anything else. So strawberry shagger, marmalade fucker, jam lover, anything along those lines is probably more relevant than sheepshagger. I'm not lying, there probably are some nervous sheep roaming around, but I'm sure they're everywhere. Caudace, great to have you in, mate, and I'll chat with you really soon. Jay said, I just appreciate Kelly Brook's personality, mate. Both of them. To be fair though, in all honesty, Jay, she's got a wonderful personality, Jace. A wonderful personality. The Turkish guy is supposed to be Lallana's replacement from the English media and an upgrade. Again though, Tony, if you go from the Echo, they're saying that it ain't going to happen this transfer window anyway. There's no way Klopp's pushing Lallana out to bring in an untested kid. I'm just going with them, but they've been wrong before as well. DT is a bell end that can handle a bit of banter, unlike Goldbridge. Do you know what? I don't want to go on a rant about DT again because I've had too many of them. He's a bully, plain and simple. He's a bully that bullies children and bullies people that he thinks are beneath him, and he hasn't got a pair of balls. Mark can take banter, he can dish it out, he can take it, he's a clever fella, but I've no time for that DT lad at all, because I see goodness in Mark. He can have a bit of banter, he can do some silly stuff like the rest of us, he can say some stupid shit like the rest of us, but underneath it all, you look at him and he's a decent fella. I don't see that with DT, and I see very few people that think that of him as well. People that know him a lot better than I do, because I don't know him at all. I only know what I see of him on the screen, and he looks like an absolute fucking plank. Where else have we got? Still got 10 minutes to go, guys. 4 more subscribers to go, so if you're watching, please do hit that button. I generally think we could go unbeaten in the league from now to the end of the season. The City game is the toughest game we will face all season. I think that has to be true. I mean, the defending champions away from home, yes, that would have to certainly go down as one of the, if not the toughest game of the season. That's why I couldn't understand the amount of people's heads that were falling off after it. I mean, if I said to you, we're going to play 21 games and we're going to have just lost one of them, and that will be away to Manchester City, would you take that? You'd probably go, yeah, that sounds pretty fucking decent to me, as long as there's not a shit ton of draws in there, which there hasn't been. I think it's fair enough. I mean, I think we've had a very good season so far, and we can become very spoiled and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not self-centered. What's the word I'm looking for here, guys, when you automatically assume that something is yours, or that you get so used to getting stuff that you just assume it's going to come? I can't, you know what I'm trying to say? My mind's gone blank. It's not self-righteous either. I fucking can't think of it. Somebody will help me out though. Is Kelly Brook a model? She was back in our day. It's probably a little bit old. Obliged, there you go. Entitled, all of those words. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you. Yes, as football fans, we can become very entitled very quickly and forget about the hard work, or the times where we didn't have trophies, or the times where we had fucking Roy Hodgson or Paul Konchesky, Joe Cole, Christian Poulsen, Jovanovic. I mean, we can forget about those times very quickly when the good times come a knocking. So I always try to make sure that we appreciate these times when they're here. And as much as it's going to be great if we go on and win the league down the end of the line, let's not forget about the fun getting there, because we've had some amazing times already this year, and we're going to have some amazing times in the rest of the season. Do you think the midfield three that played against City is sort of a last gasp chance as he tried and tested system? I think once everybody gets up and running, and once we see Naby Keita fully vetted in, I think the strongest midfield three that we will have will be Fabinho, Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's the three that I would go with if everybody was fit and firing and we were starting a new season again and I had a big game. That's the three I'd like to see. Mane will score tomorrow night at Laser Sharp, because Buvac is still getting paid. He's never officially left. He's on gardening leave, I think. Is that what it's called? When he's still on the club's pay books, but he's not doing anything. Glory Man United, said Active Dan. Active Dan, honest question, mate. Do you think you're going to get top 4 this year? And how do you think the rest of the season's going to go under Solskjaer? Andy Carroll, yeah, Samuel, that's another great one. Fucking hell. We've had some dross over the past 15 years, haven't we? We have had some absolute shite. All form goes out the window when it's United versus Liverpool. It does, absolutely same. Well, it doesn't with Everton, because we always beat Everton because they're Everton and they're shite. Personally, 4-2-3-1 I think is our best formation, said Active Dan. How can you leave Genie out? In my opinion, he's been our best midfielder. That's a fair comment, mighty lad, but look, it's a personal thing, and I think when everybody's fit and firing the way we look to play, I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain offers us a bit of dynamism going forward. He's pacey, he's direct, he knows where the fucking goal is. So for me, I think I like him. I like Fabinho in the holding role, and I think Naby Keita can break the lines, can play in the 8. That's just my favourite three, mate. But I understand your thoughts on Genie, because I'd agree with you. He's probably been, outside of Van Dijk, our most consistent player this year. And he stepped up his game no end. There's no two ways about it. I've nothing but the height of respect for Genie Wijnaldum. Love the guy. Little Women's Christmas. Okay. I don't know what that... Oh, it's your Mrs. Christmas night. Sorry, Artie Gamer. I didn't know what you were talking about. She's out on... You're on the body. Fuck it, mate. Fuck it, it's still Christmas, isn't it? It's kind of. So you have a good laugh, pal, and have one for me. What else have we got? Don't forget Poulsen. Hodgson actually said was better than Gerrard. I mean, Hodgson said a draw away at Everton was a fucking good result. He's a fucking gobshite. I think City lose to Chelsea and Arsenal hopefully and will win the league, said Jersey Boy. This year's Liverpool's year. You're not allowed to say that though. We're not allowed to say that as Liverpool fans. That's the one phrase we're not allowed to say. But fuck them. It's our year this year. We're going to win the league. Firmino has Chamberlain's role from last year, said Liverpool fan 9. What else have we got? Some more comments. A few more minutes to go. We're only 3 subscribers away from hitting that 50 mark. So if you're watching, you know what to do. Other fans on here just prove how interesting Liverpool really are, said Pepper Red. Maybe it's can we have some credit in that little conversation as well? Maybe they think we're nice people in here. Mate, give yourself some credit. Hoover is our mini Virgil, said Ferno. Look, him and Ryan Brewster, I cannot wait to see how the two guys get on for the rest of this season and of course into next season, because they're two fucking great talents. I mean, we're blessed the way we are. We've got such a young squad. We're moving forward. Things are fucking looking pretty damn peachy for Liverpool at this moment in time. Ryan Brewster and Keanu Hoover are going to be shit hot. I adore you, my lad. Great channel, said Mr. Sugar. Thank you, Mr. Sugar. Good to see I'm not fired just yet. Did you see what I did there? Hi Craig, do you think it's a must win tomorrow or should we offer a much changed lineup? Said Gakul. I'd like us to win, but I don't think it's a must win. But I also understand that people don't want to go and lose 2 on the bounce, so I hope we just about do it. Do you know what I mean? We play a few players that are on the fringes, but we just get the result. I'm very intrigued though to see what type of a starting 11 he goes with tomorrow. I think it's probably going to be stronger than I'm expecting. Kada has Ox's role this year. Can't wait to see him play like he did for Leipzig, said Ferno. Was selling Solanke a mistake? I don't think it was, because I think it's only fair on him that he has a chance to go and get game time. And Liverpool do have first refusal or a buyback clause. I'm not sure which one. And you're talking decent money as well. I mean, that's money that's at the club right now that they can use to strengthen. And then let's see how he develops in the future. So if we'd said we were going to loan him out for 18 months, I don't think many of us would have blinked. And technically this could well be that along those lines. If we want him back, he's available. So no, I think it was a good decision. That Hoover guy is an incredible player, said Marshall Robinson. Still think Brewster is going to be one of the best players in Europe. So do I, Christopher. I think he's going to be fucking unbelievable. Honestly, I think you could be talking like Raheem Sterling, but better in the level that I think this kid will go to. He's only 16, let's all relax. Yeah, but he's 17 next month, Brian. There you go. If we're talking about Hoover, by the way. I mean, I only say that because somebody pulled me on it yesterday. Ferno said Curtis Jones, Hoover, Bobby Duncan, Lewis should be on the bench or starting tomorrow. Laser Sharp said need to rest Van Dijk. Jace Roberts said I worry slightly if Origi does leave. Not that I want him to stay, but I'm worried about depth / options with our injuries. Can't see us signing anyone this month. Don't believe the Omur stuff. Agent talk. Yeah, I'm always worried, Jace, when these players come out of nowhere, like that Amor guy or that fucking Moses Daddy guy last window. It is just too convenient for my liking. But Werner, Jace, real quickly, mate, we've got a few minutes left on the show, so if you have time to write something quick, Timo Werner in the summer, what do you think? Is he going to be a Liverpool player? Craig, would you ever start playing FIFA? You can have your own team, you can put out players. I've thought about it, Tony. A couple of people have asked me would I ever consider going and playing FIFA. I'd probably be shit at it because it's been so long since I played, but I think I'd enjoy the fun and the banter and the laugh. So I have a PS4 in the house, we've got an Xbox One in the house, so yeah, maybe. I don't see why not. Low Fat Mate, good night, and as always, it is a pleasure to have you in, pal, and I hope you enjoyed your day today and your few drinks. So I will chat to you really soon. Add Harry Wilson to that list of young great players. We look forward to bringing him in next season, said Liam Granby. I would love to try and do a gaming channel, but it's your channel, no disrespect. What do you mean by a gaming channel? As in off this channel? I'm confused, Tony, because if you're looking to do something off this, we could definitely look at that. I mean, this is one channel, but we can certainly work off this and do other things. Because Anfield Agenda is probably going to expand anyway. We'll go back into podcasts, and we may do little bits and pieces. And myself and Connor have a new project that we're working on as well. So maybe gaming is something we can look at. I'm sure Connor would like that as well. What else have we got? Jersey Boy said we could even win the Champions League. And to top everything off, I hope England win the Nations League. I don't really watch international football too much, so I'll pass on that one. But yeah, mate, I hope we win as many things as possible. And thank you for the super chats earlier, Jersey Boy. Really kind of you. Solanke's deal is awesome. Now watch Michael Edwards get some money from Moreno. I don't know, mate. His contract is up at the end of this season, so anything we get for him would be a bonus. How old is Brewster? Is he 17? I think he's 17. If you do FIFA, do Liverpool career mode. I'm a little bit confused by FIFA because I haven't played it in so fucking long. From what I can gather, if you're going to play online against other people, you pretty well better have a good fucking team. So you want to go and spend some dosh on FIFA Ultimate. Is that correct? Because in my day, I'm such an old man. In my day, you put the fucking disc in and you played. And if you were good, you were good. If you were shit, you were shit. But nowadays, with the FIFA Ultimate team, you've got to spend a good bit of wedge, don't you, to try and build up a good team. And Jay said, with regards to Timo Werner, I think there's a very good chance. I believe that we like and want him. It's whether or not Bayern do too. That's my concern. Timo Werner would be perfect. I think he would be as well, Jace. I think he can play any position across the front three, as we know. What else have we got? Would you have Suarez back next season if he became available? No, personally I'd pass. As much as I love the guy, and I do fucking love him, I'm not really one for bringing players back when they leave. What else have we got? PES is for grown up, FIFA is for kids. I grew up playing FIFA though. I never really played Pro Evo, so. And I grew up playing the PlayStation as well. I was always PlayStation over Xbox. Just because I preferred the controller. Right, what else have we got? I didn't spend on my team, and my team is pretty decent on FIFA. Fair enough. Nice one. I'm glad to see somebody got around the system. The amount of people I see that spend a shit ton of money on FIFA career mode is ridiculous. PES is the way, said Ben. Right, I just play online friendlies, and so if anyone wants a game, my game tag is Acid Chris 1981. So Christopher McVicker said if anyone wants to give him a game, his game tag is Acid Chris 1981. Guys, look, I'm gonna leave it there. Enjoy the super chat, says Jersey Boy. Thank you, mate. Really kind of you. And just to reiterate, every penny that we do take in goes towards the channel. It's not for us. We use it for equipment, we use it for travel, and we use it to run the channel. So thank you, mate. Your money will be used wisely. What else have we got? Right, guys, as I said, I'm gonna leave it there for tonight, if that's alright. I'll be here from 7:15 for a watch along at the Wolves game tomorrow, so if you're around, join us for that one. If not, hopefully I'll catch you on tomorrow's late night agenda again at about 10:15. Thanks a million for joining me. Thank you to everyone that was new, by the way. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. Look after your families, love each other, and up the motherfucking Red.